Warning, this podcast contains graphic language. What's going on out there, MGTOW? What's going on out there? The real red pill knowledge. What's going on out there, your incels out there on the basement? I don't care. As long as you're a man, it's all gravy with me. You are right here at Kendall Regan Podcast. One of the hottest podcasts in my view in the Western society, in the Western world. I'm right here in the Pacific Northwest, just podcasting it up all across the world, baby. If this is your first time out here, it's a fucking shit show that I run out here. That's how it is. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you love it, you love it. And big shout out to all my MGTOW brothers out there. And let's bring this back in fruition. So no further ado, let's start with the intro. But let's do this thing with a horn, for heaven's sake. So here we go, gentlemen. Let me start with the intro. See who's out there tonight.
It's getting serious on this track, man.
What up, dang? I'm about to load up a bowl of the best cannabis provided right here in the Pacific Northwest. So let's light up this puppy up. Let me see what is it at right here. And tonight's stream cannabis is called Nectane. The Nectane is the shit. Do this here real quick. I got the pipa going. I got the pipa, the bong, aka piso, like we call it out here, piso. I'm loading up the bowl and let's rock this joint. This is the only podcast that you can do free shit. You know, I love freedom. God damn it. Fuck. I love freedom, man. Hold on, let me take another. Who doesn't like freedom, for heaven's sake? We live in a republic. All this nonsense and bullshit, democracy, no, these people are idiots. Right? And like I mentioned last night podcast, I was a little under the weather and I was like really tired, and I took a few bowls of cannabis and a few beers and shit like that, and my mind wasn't there quite, It's been a clusterfuck for the last 4 years, to be honest, man. But now, I've been a content creator as the philosophy of men going their own way for now. It's so unbelievable because the time goes so fast that I didn't realize how long I've been doing this shit, right? I've been doing this shit for like 7 years, here and there, not full time and stuff. It's not my full time gig, but I've been doing this shit for 7, 8 years, and I understood a lot of history from whatever you name it, right? And it came out, and what I noticed, it came out in fruition. It was when in 2016 when Donald Trump got elected for the first time. All hell broke loose. Literally. It did. Censorship, this, that, so on and so forth. You guys know what we're talking about, right? You can write comments. The comment was deleted from the subscribers and shit. You know, all kinds of nasty, disgusting, that you can express anything, man. After this dude got elected, it was like all hell broke loose. Nobody can say shit. It got to be whatever the state or whoever. What's going on? What's going on out there? Success exposed in the He's house. Just bear with me. I'm drinking a little bit of water here. So let's do this thing here. Because let me focus. So now all of a sudden, right? When the leftists in the media, now all of a sudden, right? Latinos are racist. They started with the white folk, with a white man. Racist, because they voted this shit. Now, the Latinos are black, are misogynists, right? And racist. I knew this shit's gonna blow up. I knew it. I mentioned this. My last night podcast, I wasn't there. I wasn't there quite correctly. But now, tonight, I'm there. I knew it. I know where I live at. I know these maniacs out there. These leftist people and shit in their agenda for many years. I live in a very blue state out here. I understand. I know how they walk. I know how they dress. I know if I go to a step in somebody's house, I know how they behave and shit like that. I understand it, folks. Trust me. So, now all of a sudden, right, they got like the Democrat, my apologies, the Republican got like 30-something Latinos all across the United States, and the Democrats are going nuts and crazy and shit like that. Especially men. 20% black men and a lot of white men. Just men, period. Man was fed up with his bullshit and nonsense. With his wokeism. With his transformerism. With all this shit, all this propaganda. They got fed up, man. People get fed up. Not only that, women too. There was like, oh, white women. Of course, white women gonna take care of the wallet. Especially the marry and stuff like that. I'm a MGTOW, I understand. Listen, I don't cohabitate with anyone. I'm a man going my own way. But that doesn't mean the society has to function in one way. Okay? Society has to function in one way. The nuclear family. It wasn't for me. I got it. I get it. I try and never be married. I have kids and stuff like that out of wedlock. But it wasn't my game. From day one. I didn't want this. I was forced to it. Whatever. But I understand the notion of family. We got families, man. We got a sister, cousin, auntie, brother, this, that, so on. Some people are crazy. Some people in your own family circle. There's not a perfect family out there. Everybody got their own issues and problems and shit like that. And these leftist maniacs, they don't understand the American people. They don't have one iota. They want the best for the children, and they put them in universities and stuff like that, right? And they learn, but they're not really learning. They use indoctrinated. So let's start the indoctrination from these so-called people who graduated from bachelor degrees and shit like that. So let's start with the retardation, because they're all retarded anyway. So just bear with me. Just give me a moment here. Let me see here. I'll wait here. And just bear with me because, I'm working with some.
And I just say, Reverend.
Okay. So, if you look anyone on the screen, especially who giving you the news and shit like that, they probably graduated from some kind of prestige university and shit and feeding people bullshit, right? And whatever is set up for them to say, they will say it. And they sound like fucking retarded because they don't have the understanding what the average American citizen go through. They don't. And this so-called race card and shit like that, it has been played out for quite some time. And it's old. And like I said previously, in the last, 5-6 years, of course, I stuck up for white men. And I say on my videos, I used to put in my videos, I gotta stick up for white men, because if they come after white men, they're gonna come after black men, and they're gonna come after Latino men, and they're gonna come out after the Arabic men or Muslim men and shit like that, because they wanna have a gynocentric society and government. Right? Who's next on the chopping block? Us. We next. We are next. Latinos are next. See, they want to leave the white men alone. But we next. We've been here. We've been done that, all right? Since the 80s and shit. People were scared of Hispanic descent people because they thought we were drug dealers or game bangers and shit like that. We've been there. I know the game. So the leftists, they always want to blame somebody else, right? Because the leftists believe that we have to be equal. We all have to have the same mentality. We all have to get along to get along. That's the mentality. I know this for a fact. So, moving forward, after the shellacking the Democrats took, now black men are misogynists. Not only black men, white men and shit like that. So I'm gonna play you a soundbite here by these three fucking scump from the pits of hell, because they are propagandists. If you haven't listened to the soundbite or watched the video, I took the liberty to do it. And listen who they're gonna blame because the election did not go their way. Because, you know, the leftists, they want to shatter new things. They want to have new shit. And they got really, really in bold after Obama got elected. And they thought that, oh, the first mulatto, which is biracial, and I don't want to get too much into the Spanish literature about it, but mulatto means a biracial child. So all of a sudden it's like, oh, the first black man, cool. Hey, I was down with it. I voted once. That's it. Hey, man, I'll be real with it. But then after that, they got emboldened. And it's like, okay, this and that. But, my apologies. So now the leftists, they're not looking, or the Democrats, or whatever, they're not looking in their own nonsense. They always want to blame somebody else for the bullshit. So this is like, you guys know this character. What? Joe, the Morning Joe, and his wife, and Al Chapter, and stuff like that, right? These three fucking clowns, useless idiots. And they discuss there's a problem in the United States. So let me play you the soundbite here.
Quickly too, Democrats need to be mature, and they need to be honest, and they need to say, yes, there's misogyny, but it's not just misogyny from white men. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men, things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States. You know, the Democratic Party, I've always found, when you're sitting around talking, they love to just sort of balkanize everybody into these separate groups and say, oh, white people don't like...
Let me pause this real quick, because with YouTube nowadays, you know, you have to pause a little bit, and then I'm gonna continue to play the soundbite, because otherwise they're gonna give you copyright, and I want the message to be loud and clear.
Women and black people. No, it is time for the Democrats to say, okay, and you and I have talked about this before. A lot of Hispanic voters have problems with black candidates.
Right.
A lot
and
of,
with other Hispanics. You got some that don't like each other. And some of the most misogynist things I've heard going on this Get Out the Vote tour came from black men. I mean, misogynist things. So you're absolutely right. It's not simplistic. And we've got to have real honest conversations about it.
Real honest conversations.
So we got two cocks and a skank.
Do you know which foods naturally alleviate
bad.
joint pain? There are 3 foods I recommend to all my patients. The
Jesus
first one
Christ.
is olive
What the
oil.
hell?
It has a...
All right. My apologies. Olive oil is good, by the way. I put it in my salads and stuff like that. Okay, so we got that out of the way. I don't take these folks seriously. They've been doing this nonsense and bullshit, like I said previously, since the first election of Donald Trump, you know. They want to feed their agenda. And this took place yesterday, right? They got a shellacking. A shellacking, lacking from the Senate and shit. New chairs. They're still counting for the House and stuff. They took a fucking beating. A fucking beating from all kinds of shit. from local issues and stuff like that. They didn't learn the lesson. They continue with the nonsense and bullshit. You know, instead of being humble about it, it's like, maybe we push too much agenda, too much leftism, too much identity politics, too much transformation, too much flagging with the rainbow, and too much shit. Maybe people are fed up with this bullshit because people got to like have children and stuff like that, and they got kids and shit, and they've been implementing this shit in school. Not only that, on the public library and stuff like that. Maybe people say, you know what? Go fuck off. Yo, Democrats, go fuck off. You guys were cool back in the days, but you're not cool now. You know, that's the way I think the voter went, because they have to do that, right? That's my my thinking. Maybe, hey, dude, I live by myself, right? My kids are grown and shit. But I was thinking maybe it was too much bullshit. And people got fed up. And say, you know what? Enough is enough about this nonsense. All these transformers out there and going to this and going to that and shit. Like me myself, I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck. I don't. I'm a libertarian. If people want to do whatever the fuck they want to do, as long as they don't harm anyone, I don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit. Matter of fact, I have a gay son, and I said this many times. But when they push the agenda of this and that, and you see it every fucking where, from movies, TV shows, commercials, this, that, and shit and stuff. You see it's in your eyeballs, man. And people's eyeballs. I just connect to shit. I don't watch no Netflix. I don't watch no different things. I get these clips from the internet, right? And I'm trying to collate what has been happening, but it's so, for me, it's so given. I mean, it's asinine. It's like, what the fuck? They haven't done anything. Obviously their agenda is not working. But it does work in some people. And that is the fucking clusterfuck. The agenda work in some people. But it doesn't work with everybody. But they expect to everybody to work their agenda. But not everybody's gonna fall for it. And my point of view, what took place in November 5th, my point of view, okay? That American citizens from all kinds of walk of life, citizens, either you was born here, you got your citizenship card, and stuff, political asylums and stuff. Trust me, I know. I used to have Cuban friends. If you want to talk to somebody about communism, go talk to a Cuban or a Chinese. They'll let you know what communism is all about. I know this for a fact. I had a few Cuban friends out here. And I asked them in Spanish, of course, I'm talking to you in English. In Spanish, like, hey, yo, how's Cuba? And how you guys do things? And this and that, Fidel Castro, and this and that. And they tell me the stories like, shit, we don't have this, we don't have that, and stuff like. Trust me. I don't have to look at shit up. All I gotta do is talk to people who lived in that place and move over here with a political asylums and have their visa and stuff like that. And after they do the process and shit like that, they're happy to be here and they're glad and they will defend whatever because they know they have experience. Me, I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm born in the United States. So I understand this notion of United States citizen. Do you think for a minute that United States citizens, especially, and I'm going to talk about my background, right? Hispanic descent, Latino descent, that we don't see what the fuck is taking place in the cities? New York, Chicago, especially blue cities, Colorado, out there in Denver, and this stuff. For the last 2.5 years, they're bringing these motherfuckers with no paperwork, no nothing, and shit like that. And not only that, they getting money from the government, right? They getting thousands of dollars on cars and stuff like that, on card and shit. Meanwhile, the United States citizens, we paying taxes, we paying this and that and shit. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? We can vote, we citizens. We can fucking vote. Say, fuck these motherfuckers. I don't know where they came from. I do not know where they came from. They open up the gates out there in the southern border. And they are invading here. And taking not only resources from Hispanics or Latino, black folks too on the inner city and shit. See, I live in a city, so I understand this thing. Misogynist, racist, this, that, horseshit. It's utter horseshit. Excuse me. I've been watching this charade. To be honest. since 2000. Let me think, because it started with Europe, and then they came to the United States. I want to say 2015, 2016, where people from Africa and stuff like that, they went to Europe and stuff, and they pretty much let the gate open because the European was so afraid of having less children and shit and stuff like that. Now Europe is contaminated. So I saw this trend. From Europe to the United States. So I wasn't shocked by it. And I'm still not shocked by it, because I saw this, what took place in 2020, 2010. Let me reflect. Yeah, the time goes so quickly. 2015 to 16 and shit like that, you know. They went to Greece, and from Greece they went to Italy and stuff like that. It was boats and stuff, and some of these motherfuckers landed in Germany, some of these motherfuckers landed in the UK, some of these motherfuckers landed out there in Switzerland. They landed everywhere. But somebody had to let them go, right? Because, you know, if you got law and order and stuff like that, you got to stop at the gate. You're like, hey, motherfucker, you can't come over here. But the gate was open. It wasn't shock to me. Now, moving forward, it's here in the United States. It's here. Listen, you want to come over here? I got plenty of Mexican friends. They got the visa work and stuff like that. And they just work, get the visa, go back to Mexico. They come back out there and they love that shit. They really do. They like having a working visa. They're like, I'm 6 months in Mexico, and you know, I'm a year here, this and that and stuff. They like that shit because they see, you know, two different worlds, or two different point of view. Even though we're in the same continent, but it's two different countries. I met farmer workers, Mexicans. Not only Mexicans, from El Salvador and stuff like that. Honduras, working visa. And they like what they do. They farmers and stuff like, especially on October, pumpkin season. You know, people like their pumpkin scar drawn and carve it and shit like that. Some motherfucker gotta pick this shit up, you know, and they do that. And they get their money, and they go back home, and they chill, and they're probably living better than we. Actually, these people that pick up fucking tomatoes and shit like that, and they got a working visa, they probably live better than we do in the homeland. To be honest, because I talk to them, it's like, yeah, I have a house, and I own a house. How many Americans own their own fucking house, paid off, and everything like that? Not many. They got a mortgage and shit. I'm talking reality. I'm talking truth. Now, I'm not from Mexico. I'm not from Honduras. I'm not from Peru. I'm not from Cuba. I'm United States citizen. So I wish I can do that. Because if I had like another place that I can go home and go to this other place that I can go and make some money and at my house or my homeland that I can live comfortable and shit like that, I would do it in a minute. I'm jealous. As a Latino, I'm jealous of these people. Because I've talked to them for years. Right? They got the visa, they're working and stuff like that and shit. They are here building things and that temporarily 6 months and shit, and they go back home and stuff, and they got their money, they send their stuff. Listen, I'm a Latino. I eat food like they do. I'm in the market. I talk Spanish and shit. I'm jealous. Because Puerto Rico's economy is a part of the United States. So there's no place that I can transform my money to other currency and, and have a good place to stay. Because my money is the fucking dollar. Right? My money is the dollar. It's your money. You're United States citizens. So my money is the dollar. I cannot transform my money into pesos or whatever, right? I cannot. Or euro and stuff like that. I cannot do that. So this notion that you heard the clip, they got a problem with black men and Latino men and the misogynist and shit. It's horseshit. It's nonsense. Racist. No. Yes, we are misogynists. I'm not going to lie. We are misogynists. As a culture, Latino culture are misogynists. But according to their view, we are misogynists. But no, not really. We are the patriarch. Is the head of the household. That's it. Mom and dad. Madre y padre. That's it. That's it. And the problem the United States has been facing for the last, I want to say, according to my history that I read, and I want to be like very small about it, but I say maybe within the last 40 years, they put their children in education camps, aka universities, because I know this for a fact that, well, as for me, I had two choices. Military or go to school at the age of 18. When they're in school, go to college and shit. But the problem was with my family that we are military. So at the age of 18, my dad got assigned back to Germany. My dad retired for 24 years in the military, United States Army. Sergeant Major. Okay, gentlemen? So, I know what the fuck I'm talking about here. And my option was definitely not. I live overseas in Germany on a military base. I graduated from Ramstein High School. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm not going to do that shit. And there was a station, we was in station at the age of 18 on Fort Campbell, Tennessee, in Kentucky. And it was like, well, son, we're about to have an assignment. Either you can join the military, stuff like that. And I just happened to have my friend that I knew for years living in Germany. And he told me, visit me out here in the Pacific Northwest and stuff like that. So I was like, cool, I'll visit. And I was like, man, this shit looked like a lot like Germany. And it did. It does out here. It really does. But just bear with me because just give me a little break, gentlemen. Just give me a little break. It's been a tough week and stuff like that. And I'm trying to get everything the best possible collected thought to put it out here. So you don't think that I'm just making some shit up and stuff like that. And I'm going to be honest with you, fellas. What took place in this so-called election, it was predictable for me. It really was. I say, okay. Donald Trump won the presidency. Watch, they're going to be protests and shit like that. I woke up in the morning. Chicago, protesting. New York, protesting. Portland, protesting. Seattle, protesting. So back to my point that I'm trying to say to the beginning, before I lost my collective thought, that a lot of these children, not children, but when it comes to adulthood, they get indoctrinated into the universities. They do. A lot of these parents say to them, you have to go to this university, or you have to earn a 4-year bachelor degrees. Oh yeah. You have to go out there and have these so-called college experience. Yeah, that's what it is. The college experience. Well, since we thought about college experience, and I'm being so college experience parties back in my days. It's not good for women, but back in those days in the late 90s and early 2000s, it was different, right? It was different, but for women, they are to begin with, back then there was more men in college, or it was equal in college than women. Now women overrun colleges. There's more women in colleges than men. So chicks, they love their college experience because they think they're so smart. They're gonna work the 4 years and this and do that and put themselves in debt, and they're gonna go out there and ride the cop carousel and spring break, go to Cancun, go to Miami Beach, go to Virginia Beach, and do this shit and stuff. They're not even working. They're not even producing. All they got is debt, debit, credit cards, and stuff like that. And some of these parents pay for that shit. I don't understand this shit, but they do. Then after the 4 years, and they got this paper that is worthless, because they spent 4 years in bullshit and nonsense and hanging out in colleges and having the same mentality. They don't know how the world works. And they come out here with a disappointment. Right? A lot of women, they come out with a bachelor degree tasting like shit. Oh yeah, I know this for a fact. Women would brag to men about they graduated from this university or that, and they got a bachelor degree. And when you ask, so you got a bachelor degree on what? And they tell you some stupid bullshit. Right? You know, I forgot. I think I was in high school. Yeah, my senior year. Back then they have SAT scores. Because nowadays, math is racist, by the way. Everything's racist. Asian, they are very good with numbers and shit like that. So that's racist. Fuck. I got a fucked up SAT. And the counselor told me, listen, you're not college bound. And I said to myself, fuck this shit. I'm going to do it anyway because I want to learn stuff. So I went to community college when I got here in the state of Washington. And I learned. I went part-time through community college and worked. My plan to get a associate degree and go to university, but life did not work that way. But I have the qualifications. So when this fucking bitch told me, college bound, she was right. She was right. And, she was right, but I did get some knowledge and experience going to, at my young age, so-called campus even in back then, they were talking about multiculturalism and shit like that, you know. At the time, which I don't regret to this day, I say, man, I can go make money or I can go full retarded. Which one is my choice? And literally, I was here by myself. So I said to myself, let me make some money. And when you make money, you make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, you meet bitches. And when you meet bitches, well, guess what? They get pregnant and shit, like so on and so forth. But life is a fucking bitch. But the problem is with nowadays that there's a lot of these I don't want to use the word children, but these young folks out there, which the parents has encouraged this behavior of, or the institutional behavior, to go to universities. Now, I'm not saying all parents, you know, you got talented people, men and women who, you know, they got a scholarship for this and that and so on and so forth, or whatever the shit. They got scholarship, and not only sports scholarship, because, you know, sports is sports, right? But you do have different scholarships for things and shit. Even with the scholarship, once they get it out there in campus, they come out retarded. They really do. Trust me, they do. I know this for a fact. They come out retarded. Oh yeah, they come out retarded. They get good jobs. I'm not going to deny that. They get high-paying jobs, which they do. But the mentality is like, there's no common sense there. It's too much book smarts and not common sense. I know this. I know this for a fact. Too much reading books, too much studying, hang around campus, and so on and so forth, and they lack common sense. Then when common sense knocking at the door, they don't know what the fuck to do with themselves. You know? They really don't. Especially women. They do not know what... When common sense knock at the door, they cannot compose themselves. They cannot behave themselves. They do not know how to act themselves because they be indoctrinated. Matter of fact, not even, I'm going to put it like this, not even in college campuses. Look at all these chicks and shit like that. They out there on TikTok. They out there in YouTube. They out there doing all kinds of shit. Instagram. And doing all kinds of bullshit and nonsense. Right? Bunch of attention whores. Oh yeah. Women love attention. They really fucking do. And when you put these chicks out there with social media, with going to universities and stuff like that, living in dorms and stuff like that, they bored. They don't know what to do. And it's kind of like, but this is not new to me. Okay, they young and shit like that, right? And they're wasting their life and doing college shit. They wasting their life. And the most surprising thing is, for me, is just like the parents would pay for this. Their own parents are like, and I'm not talking about rich parents. I'm talking about middle class parents. They sacrifice it. They sacrifice the money for the child to go into university, and they willing to pay money for this or this and that, or get a loan so their daughter go to university and be the best whatever, or their son and shit. It's just like, what the fuck? Why? By the end of the bachelor degree, they probably will spit on your face. You spit on your face. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mom. I believe in this shit. I believe in that. I believe in this. So, do you believe in that? Do you believe in that? I believe in this and shit. Go fuck off. I'm a lesbian. I'm a this. I'm a that. I'm whatever. I don't want to be like you guys. I don't want to have a family. I don't want no kids and shit. It's slavery for me. No wonder. No wonder. How come United States citizens, I'm not having many children? I'll tell you why. Too much indoctrination, too much education. I came to this conclusion like years ago. Me, myself, as a parent, and going out there and see what the fuck these niggas did. The twins and shit. Dealing with school teachers from elementary to middle school. I end up as a single father and stuff like that. My story is well known. Who knows my story is well known. So, my belief is too much indoctrination, too much education, and not too much of common sense. Just good old common sense, goddammit. Fuck. You can have a little bit of this, you can have a little bit of that, but you have to have common sense. And the thing to me, because I got multiple friends out here and they lack common sense. Just common sense. Well, since I'm talking about this topic with indoctrination in universities and stuff, I'm working on this. I want to do like a walk and talk, and I'm doing this editing because I understand the copyrights and stuff like that. So I'm doing an editing for a video and do my walk and talk because it takes time to do a video. It really does. It takes time. You gotta do editing. You gotta do this, and you gotta make sure it's not copyright. And it's a long process to make a 5-10 minute videos. With a podcast, I can just like put something there and talk shit. It's easy. Making videos is hard, especially when you got it from different places. But since we're here talking about the topic of over-educated women, I want to give you one clip that I'm gonna put on the rest of the video, and hopefully tomorrow I can do the maybe the weekend or whatever. Yeah, probably the weekend and stuff like that. The walk and talk. But this is just a little preview and stuff like that. And just bear with me. So just give me a second here. And this is just like little small piece of it, and then I'm gonna connect other videos of chicks going bananas and different clips of the mainstream media going bananas and shit.
So an origin story. If you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands.
Let me play this again.
So an origin story. If you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands.
I got it on my mind.
So an origin story. If you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands.
Oh, damn it. All right. Cool. So what I'm trying to do, right? Those who listen to the podcast, what I'm trying to do is going to be a compilation of it's given us these chicks out there, over educated chicks and shit like that. I got a chick that she's in campus walking around, and she like, I'm in campus right now, and you can tell with university and stuff. And I don't want to go to class. I think I'm going to slip this off. I'm going to slip it off, and I'm going and this and that. She's trying to be civil about her emotions and shit. But that's going to be the clip Every time these fucking bitches and all these simps talk shit, I want to go like that clip. Jump around. Jump around. You know, just bear with me. That's how my brain works when I do editing. You know, I did a little bit editing here, a little bit editing there today, but I think I'm going to do something cool for the walk and talk, and you know, just a little walk and talk show that out here in the Pacific Northwest, and you guys know my videos and stuff like that, and just do a little bit of that and have fun with it. Just have fun with it, but it does take time to edit and stuff like that. Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you men out there, you hairy balls, misogynists, men out there, all kinds of walks of life. If you got hairy balls, you're a male, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. You can be black men, white men, Asian men. Long as you're a man, white man, whatever man out there, Korean man, you're still going to be a man. That's it. Man makes the world go around. Bottom line. It's the bottom line. Regardless of what Beyonce say that women rule the world, nah. Nah. Men rule the world. That's it. I guess that's misogynist, is it? I guess it is. Fuck them. Like I always say, peace. Stay MGTOW. I will catch the next podcast, live stream, a video. I'm editing some shit like that. It might take me a few days, but I will do that shit. I'm out.